Make sure I'm in the video. Hopefully you can hear me because I'm a little bit of ways away from my camera. But today I want to bring you an important video on my 2019 Infiniti Q50S Signature Edition rear-wheel drive. As you may have known, in my past video, I talked about how I was swapping out my all four tires and putting on back my factory wheels and tires, which I have now come to find out that driving my car from Dallas down to Austin, that my car is driving, I don't know, I would say, a whole lot better, but it's definitely changed the driving characteristics. And I think it's in a positive direction that it's changed. So I just want to bring this video to you because it's made me think about some things. As you can see, my car has been plastered by bugs, but I had a good trip down, man, and the car was driving really well. I even pulled over and on some flat, specific backcountry roads and did a couple of 0 to 60 launches, and I was expecting just massive wheel spin, but I didn't get as much wheel spin as I would have thought. So, and these are basically the rear 245 tires. These are the Pirelli tires that I have on here, the P0 Nero GT summer tires. So they're nothing extraordinary or nothing too over the top, but I think the situation here is, hopefully you can still hear me, a lot of road noise, that the car's computer is, at least in this 2019, I can't say for 16, 17, and 18, I'm just speaking about my driving experience in my 19 Q50S Signature Edition, that maybe the ECM or the ECU, whatever you want to call it, is calibrated specifically for those tires. Okay, so let me just tell you why this makes sense. Because traction control is linked to the tire size. Let's see, shifting is going to be determined, related to the tire size. Let's see, my traction control is related and calculated and calibrated to the tire size. So when I switched from a 26-inch outer diameter tire to a 27 or 26.6 to a 27.7-inch outer diameter tire, it threw my ECU off in my computer, and so my car, it's been struggling ever since I switched tires, and I just haven't been able to make the connection on why it's doing this, or why it was doing all these crazy things that it was doing. Shift points are funny. I've always been complaining in past videos or discussing about the shift points, the car shifting way early, or the car losing traction and then it's self-shifting even though I'm in the manual mode or the manual automatic transmission shift mode. So it's just crazy how this car, it could be possibly affected by these tires, just the tire choice alone. So, moving forward, I just can't stress how maybe important it is for me to go back to the correct outer diameter, to get back and see and do some testing and kind of figure out whether this is a big deal. To me, it seems back driving on these OEM sized wheels and tires is that the car is really it's gone in a very good direction where, man, I'm not sure I even want to go back to the a little bit larger diameter Firestone front tires in the Nitto 275/40 by 19. It's like I mentioned, it's a 27.7 outer diameter. I'm just in love with the car now with the smaller sidewall. It just transforms the car and it looks more like a serious performance sedan and less like a Dodge muscle car with meatier tires on it. I like extra width in the rear, but I don't want the extra height and the extra diameter of the tire. So I think a good choice would be Pirelli makes a top of the line tire. I can't remember what it's called, the Corsa, and they make them in like a 275, 285, 295, and they'll be in 30 profile and a 35 profile, and they'll all be within the 26 outer diameter range, and those are their premium brand tires, and so obviously they're going to get really good traction, and then the car can manage torque management and manage the torque and the horsepower and make sense of it, and then hopefully drive better and manage traction better, shift better, and just all around respond better. So I just thought that this would be really important to bring to everybody. Also too, I remember a video of Daily Q50, and he was at the track and he was swapping tires. He had the Firestone Indy Firehawk tires on his, and he went to a drag radial, even though he's all-wheel drive, and it changed the diameter of his outer diameter tire. And once he ran down the track, and he obviously had the measured times, his car was quite a bit slower with the better, more traction from the drag radials. So he was like, man, I'm going to take that tire off and forget that. So I think there's a lot to do with the ECU and the preset tire diameter. Again, I just think this is a big deal, and people need to, if this is true, people need to be aware of this and not be gung ho on switching their tire sizes and messing their car up. And like I said, I did run some 0 to 60s, and with a smaller tire, I didn't hammer it as hard as I did with say my Nitto NT 555Rs on there right out of the hole. I rolled into it a little bit more, but I was expecting a lot more wheel spin. But I was in like the low 4.4 on the 0 to 60, and that was without trying. I mean, that was just, and I wasn't even hard on the throttle. I did hit 100% throttle, but I rolled into it, and and I didn't do multiple runs to improve. And so, I mean, there's some proof right there. Maybe with trying that I can get with the skinnier tires down to my 275 Nitto drag radial tires. Wouldn't that be crazy? But I think it has a lot to do with with the setup that came from the factory and how the ECU was programmed. So anyways, not to beat a dead dog, I'll just let you go with that information, and hopefully this is going to bring something out that I can improve my car on, and the handling, and the 0 to 60 and the quarter mile, and everything that's affected about getting off the line. So yeah, I appreciate you tuning in. Like and subscribe, share, and catch me on another video, and adios. Oh man, my car got hammered by the bugs. This is the dirtiest it's ever gonna be. Make sure this camera is really, really pitiful. But yeah, I just got hammered by the bugs. Driving at night on the back roads, it was actually, pretty enjoyable. I didn't take the straight highway from Dallas to Austin and San Antonio. I went the back route, and a lot of little twisty roads and smaller towns. But also too, I just want to point out that other things to do with the tire diameter, the important things, traction control is obviously, it has to have something, to do with the outer tire diameter. You got traction control, you got your revs, your shifts, VDC, vehicle dynamic control. The transmission is probably based off a certain tire size, outer wheel diameter. I mean, who knows? It makes sense to me. This car, these VR30s are just there's so much electronics in them, and there's so many sensors reading everything. And, it just makes sense to me. And by the way, the car is driving, and I can tell, I'm pretty connected with my car. just a certain connection that I have, and I know when it's running funny and when it's not running right, and or the computer is trying to make decisions, and optimally, I mean the computer's trying to make decisions, but it's confused. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So I don't know how much that tire has to do, diameter has to do with all that, but I mean, I have a really sneaking suspicion that there's a big deal. So I'm just going to show you my tires again. These are the Firestones. I'm going to be selling my Firestones likely 27.7. Those are the front 245s. And then I got the 275s over there. I mean, those are, almost all the tread. And these have pretty good tread on them. I mean, it's they're not brand new, but they're not terribly worn too far down. And then there's my drag radials, because you can see the height difference. These are both 27.7 supposed to be perfect match, but the Firestones look just a little bit taller, just maybe a few millimeters or so, I don't know, but they're both supposed to be 27.7. That's what on the websites, and that's what I look at. So, but yeah, so just more information. Looks better in the sun, but man, I love the look of these wheels, these chrome, blackish tinted chrome wheels with the chrome on the car and the white. It just looks so good. Man, if I could, and I end up having to stick, keeping those Verde VF F01 wheels, that I could get those chromed and then maybe put those in the car, on the car, because they are lighter, about 5 pounds lighter than these wheels. But man, these look so good.